Isaac Newton. The man. The myth. The legend. By Nandish. Who was Isaac Newton? Isaac Newton was born on December 25, 1642 according to the Julian calendar, while he was also born on January 4, 1643 according to the Gregorian calendar, giving him 2 birthdays. He was born in Woolsthorpe, Lincolnshire, and attended the King's School in Grantham from age 12 to 17. In 1661, he was admitted into Trinity College at the University of Cambridge, and he was awarded a scholarship in 1664. In Cambridge, he learned about the teachings of Aristotle, Galileo, Thomas Street, and more. In 1665, he discovered the binomial theorem and developed calculus. After learning about calculus, Cambridge went into a pandemic due to the Black Plague and Newton continued his studies at home. A quote by Isaac Newton states, "Plato is my friend, Aristotle is my friend, but my greatest friend is truth." After 2 years of staying at home, he developed better calculus, optics, and the law of gravity theories. His professional life consisted of him learning more about his theories and expanding more on them throughout his life. In the 1690s, he also wrote religious tracts and was even a warden of the Royal Mint, the UK's official maker of coins. This coin was made in 2013 to honour Isaac Newton for his time and work. It is a 50p coin which is around 63 cents. The coin is made by Aaron West. Today, this coin can go for over $30. In 1705, Queen Anne knighted Newton when he went on a royal visit to Cambridge. After this visit, Newton was called Sir Isaac Newton. He was the second scientist to ever be knighted. Newton soon died in London on March 31, 1727, via the Gregorian calendar, in his sleep at the age of 84. During his life, he never married and was only engaged once. He was also religious to Jesus, but people claimed him to be a heretic since it was never public. His works were sent to his colleagues and inspired many people like Albert Einstein, Stephen Hawking, and more. He also has many statues and monuments and has his name on many mathematical and science items and terms. Did you know that Guinness World Records 2002 classified Newton's tooth to be the most valuable tooth in the world, estimating over $35,000 in late 2001? Now isn't that a penny for your thoughts, or should I say tooth? Achievements. In 1666, he experimented with light during the plague and found that different colors had different refractions or changes in the direction of a wave. This is known as Newton's color theory, which we will soon cover. He later taught about this to his students. In 1687, he published his most famous book, the Principia, which explained his 3 laws of motion that govern the way objects move. He also wrote a book called Optics, which explains his findings of light. His 3 laws of motion are the law of inertia, the law of acceleration, and the law of reciprocal actions. The first law means that every object will remain at rest, in a straight line unless it changes by the action of an external force. The second law talks about the changes in momentum, which is mass times velocity. The final law states that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. In other words, forces result from interactions. He also described his theory about gravity, which stated that if a pencil fell off a desk, it would land on the floor and not the ceiling. His calculations changed the way people understood the universe, and he showed that they were held in place by the sun's gravity. He also showed that gravity was affected by distance and mass. The formula for this is force is equal to gravity times mass 1 times mass 2 divided by distance squared. He also used his laws to show that the planets revolve around the sun in an oval orbit instead of a round orbit. He also invented the first reflecting telescope in 1672, in which he also invented his theory of color. His theory of color states that colored light does not change properties and that color is the result of objects interacting with colored light, not objects coloring themselves. Some of his other less-known inventions are Newtonian cat doors, the Philosopher's Stone, and more. The cat doors were his invention he created to prevent the cats from scratching his office door in Cambridge. His hunger for learning also led him to alchemy, in which he wanted to find the Philosopher's Stone, a stone that could bestow universal transmutation. Although he didn't achieve it, he managed to produce a purple copper alloy. The apple. People most commonly refer to Isaac Newton with an apple falling on him, but that is not fully factual. Instead of the apple falling on him, Newton told himself that he was inspired by watching the apple fall down. According to a conversation with Newton in Kensington on April 15, 1726, Newton stated that when he saw it fall, he thought, why should that apple always descend perpendicularly to the ground? This is why he got inspired to learn more about gravity. In conclusion, Isaac Newton is a mathematician, physicist, astronomer, and more. He affected Europe by teaching people about gravity, why the sun holds the planets, creating calculus, and much more. This inspired more people like Einstein, Hawking, and more. He also was a professor and a warden to the UK's Royal Mint. Today, you can see his work in schools and universities under the subjects of math and science, since they use the laws of motion, gravity, and calculus. We also use Newton's work of gravity in our everyday life to stay close to the Earth. A few more quotes by Isaac Newton state that truth is ever to be found in simplicity, and not in the multiplicity and confusion of things, and no great discovery was ever made without a bold guess. Some of my sources include nasa.government, history.com, britannica.com, and more. That is the story of Isaac Newton. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.